Okay, let's do a song we've done a few times at Avondale over the last handful of months, based off of Matthew 25, where Jesus says, "Whatever you do for the least of these, you do unto me." Jesus identified with the poor and the vulnerable in society. And in that passage, he says, if you are mistreating the vulnerable, then you are mistreating me. And if you are caring for, ministering to, living in community with the vulnerable, then you are doing all of those things unto me. I might also add, if you are ignoring the poor and the weak and the needy, you are ignoring Jesus. I think that's something that a lot of us need to hear. It's easy to ignore the people that are different than us or that make us feel uncomfortable. And so here's what I'm thinking of when I think of vulnerable people right now are children who are largely raising themselves or unattended, finding their own food, whose parents are either not paying attention to them or who are still working, and the kids are now alone all day. I'm thinking of those who are experiencing homelessness. How lucky are some of us that we have a home to be stuck in, right? And I'm thinking of, obviously, because of the sickness, the elderly are much more vulnerable. And a lot of our actions, wearing the masks, avoiding contact with others, we're doing that out of respect for the elderly. My chances of dying are slim, but I have to make wise decisions because I'm caring for the vulnerable, right? So let me just say, if you yourself identify as one of those poor and needy people, one of those people in a vulnerable population, the Lord is with you. Jesus is with you. He will be kind to you, and he frequently identifies with you. If you are one of the people like me who doesn't identify in a vulnerable population, let me just encourage you, your ministry to the poor can't stop in this time. You might feel like your hands are tied a little bit in some of what you can do or what you feel like you're comfortable doing, and I just want to encourage you, you're going to have to do some uncomfortable things. And if all you have to give is prayer and fasting and more money, please do all three of those things. Like if you don't feel like there's some other option for you, some other way for you to minister to the needy, then those are your options. So you have to do those things. That's what following Jesus looks like in this quarantine. Those are your three things: prayer, fasting, giving more money. I'm not saying those are your only options, but I'm saying if you feel like you can't get out, if you feel like you don't know who to talk to or how to help, those are always available to you. And they're meaningful and they're impactful for you and for the people you serve. So there is comfort that Jesus has not forgotten the vulnerable, and neither should we. You'll find me with the broken and the weak, in the spaces in between. And you'll hear my voice cry out with those who weep, but only if you're listening. And whatever you do for the least of these, you do it unto me. You'll find me with the ones without a voice, the forgotten and ignored. And my blessing is on those who love the poor. So will you open up the door? And whatever you do for the least of these, Hallelujah, hallelujah, he is among us, he is among us. Hallelujah, hallelujah, he is among us, he is among us. Hallelujah, hallelujah, he is among us, he is among us. Hallelujah, hallelujah, he is among us, he is among us. And by this the